Case D 560076, Colt Plumber. Counsel, your appearances and barn numbers.
Good morning, Your Honor. Carol Barnes, bar number 7985, representing the plaintiff who is home with the flu, and also is attorney Rob Schmidt.
Bar number 14611, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, Alyssa Plummer. Stand, raise your right hand, we'll have you sworn in.
Do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Okay, you may be seated, and what we hear on today, there's a motion to continue trial. It was placed order shortening time. You've got a motion to intervene for the paternal aunt, Stacy. What's her last name, Stacy?
Cantor.
Cantor?
Yes.
Okay.
K-A-N-T-E.
There wasn't enough time to grant an OST to combine because of the one judicial day notice. So we'll have to figure out what we want to do with that. But we're here on your motion to continue trial. Now, Rhonda Forsberg represented you, but she was unbundled last time, so she's not here for you today, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you oppose their request to continue trial? Because they stated their reasons why. It has to do with obtaining an expert for the trial.
I do not agree with her taking precedent. No, I don't.
Okay, and you submitted on paperwork your reasons, right?
Yes.
Basically, Mom has full custody, and Grandma Marianne Cole doesn't have any contact, and I suspend that until trial. If I were to continue the trial, Grandma would still have no contact, but then we're going to have the issue of the paternal aunt. And if that's going to be granted an OST, I think you should give me a heads up. First of all, I see no prejudice to you on their first request to continue the trial if they want to obtain expert witness.
Can I say why?
Why do you oppose it?
No, that's not. I'm saying, can I
If-
say why I didn't file the opposition?
Well, you're not required to, because on short notice we did this.
Well, I didn't
But-
even know that she wasn't going to come until yesterday. My attorney.
Who, Rhonda?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that was her call because she was unbundled.
Well, she said that because she spent so much time reading all the false reports.
Mm-hmm.
I'm already at $3,100, and now she's going back. They're going back all the way to 2012 for all the medical records and all of the police reports, and I can't afford that. I've also have filed a report against both Marianne and Stacy for harassment because Detective Kegley asked me to.
A lot of people can't afford an attorney, and I don't treat people differently. They're treated fairly in my court, so I don't give anybody any advantage just because they have an attorney.
No,
But you
I'm
have
asking
to,
that they pay for the attorney because
yeah.
of the harassment.
in terms of this discovery that you're going to have to navigate on your own, number one, you can talk to an attorney for free downstairs at the self-help program, Ask a Lawyer program. Number two, if there are any discovery issues in preparation for trial, that'll be heard by the discovery commissioner, okay? And number three, yes, everybody has to play by the same rules in terms of how we're going to conduct discovery. By the way, just informing the lawyers, I think effective March 1st, the new NRCP has adopted and amended by the Supreme Court is going into effect. So if it impacts anything on this case, this is also a civil case. So that's on the Supreme Court's website.
Thank you.
Yeah, I guess we're civil courts, so we have to follow that. So, in terms of the continuance of trial, it doesn't affect you because you have full custody of Preston and no contact with Mary Ann. If I continue the trial and the delay is at their request, that doesn't change my order about Mary Ann having contact
I'm
with Preston.
also opposing it due
Yeah,
to them
go ahead, go ahead.
going back
Thank you.
all the way to 2012. When Sean was alive, in our trial, we both agreed that anything that was going to happen before that trial, we were not going to bring up in court again, and we could not use against each other. So I already owe $10,000 to another attorney because of that trial. Now they're trying to drag that all back, everything that you already
Okay.
know, and now I have to pay another attorney. So if I'm going to be forced to stay here and not move, you guys are not going to let me move, I can't afford the attorney, and they're going to drag up years and years and years of all this stuff that you already know.
Where is it you wanted to move to?
Oklahoma.
You have family there?
Yes, my
Have you been
grandma.
served with the motion to relocate?
No.
This is how it impacts the case, okay? I'm not giving legal advice, but I need to figure out how I'm gonna manage my case. Number one, when Mary Ann started this case, there was two possibilities: custody, or you retain custody and she would just be relegated to having visitation rights. So she's still going for both, basically. It may change. Her position might change because paternal aunt wants to get in the case, Stacy Cantor, and she's asking for custody and also visitation rights. In terms of your motion to relocate, that would have to be heard by me, but it all depends if there is a custody ruling. Obviously, you're here defending your custodial status being the only remaining biological parent to Preston, which obviously you have greater rights than any other type of next of kin or relative. So depending on the custody ruling, if a court decision were to say you retain custody, they would get visitation rights, and they would get visitation rights or no visitation rights. That's their worst case scenario. Their best case scenario is to take custody or shared custody of Preston. But if you retain the full custody, you're the only remaining parent left. So there's no other side, no father to consent to any relocation. So you wouldn't need court permission to relocate. It would just, if it affects their visitation, then a new visitation order may have to be either negotiated out on both sides if you retain custody and you make the decision to move, because there's no other parent to give you the consent. You would have the sole custody. So you don't need a court permission or court order.
Well, you ordered me not to leave.
But I think everything has to be wrapped, yeah, well, everything has to be wrapped up into the trial. Is there any pressing need to go to Oklahoma?
Yes, my grandma has been, my grandfather passed away. I'm a PCA. My grandmother needs a PCA.
A what?
A PCA.
What's
a caregiver. I'm a caregiver. She needs a PCA, and it's not right that we have to put a stranger in her house. She needs to live in PCA.
And you want to take Preston with you?
Well, he's my son.
Yeah.
Of course. Yes.
How old's your
A year
grandmother?
ago, I was told that this would take 6 months. It's been over a year and 6 months.
Hmm.
And I agreed to stay as long as it was till the end of the trial. And now
So,
all I've done is jump through hoops.
when is your motion to relocate? Is that set for? I
That
don't
was
see it
her-
on
that
my
was her
calendar.
Last time we were here.
Have you been served with the motion?
No. She was served in court last time we were here.
When did you file that motion to
Rhonda
relocate?
filed
Was that rolled into her big motion?
it. Yes.
Has Ms. Barnes's office filed any opposition?
I'm unaware of a motion to relocate. I'm pulling the entire file right now.
I can't tell you one way or another what I remember.
And I did also write a letter, if that would help.
Perhaps if she could pull a motion to relocate?
I don't have the motion to relocate.
You wrote a statement, but you put a cover sheet and a case number on it, didn't you?
No, but I do have, the answer to her motion, here, and I was gonna put it in as an exhibit. I also have the police reports and also, the contact, cause since we came to court last time, they called the cops on me again. And I've had.
I don't think I got updated CPS
I
records.
have no CPS right now.
Okay, right now let's answer the question of the relocation and see what's been filed here. You said it was in Rhonda's paperwork?
It's in the
Rhonda
one that she
Forsberg?
filed, it does state that I wanted to move to Oklahoma.
I
and you
think
said
I
that.
might have read that, but let me make sure.
Rhonda filed a reply. She didn't file a motion.
That's why I got a little confused. Okay, yeah, I think there is reply. What's the date of filing of her reply?
Which by its very nature couldn't contain a motion to relocate.
October, September, when did she file?
It was like the day before the last hearing is when she filed her
Yes, because
reply.
they're all
Which was like-
emergencies.
Okay, hang on. Defendant's motion, October 11th, and the hearing I think was October 13th or 16th. Oh, November 13th. No, this one is filed in proper person. And it doesn't mention about moving.
I told you since the very first day we came here, I wanted to move.
Yeah, that could be, but it has to be done in a motion to relocate.
That's fine, I can do that.
Exactly. Okay, I didn't see in your filing, Alyssa.
It's just she only filed one thing, so.
Your Honor, I actually
I'm trying to find the
have
file
reply.
date.
I don't have a filed stamped copy of it, but I have the reply right here if you'd like to see it.
What
She
kind
signed
of?
it December 12th, but I have an unfiled copy.
Okay, I was looking further up in the calendar. I think I found it now. There it is, December 12th. Did you skim it and see if there's any talk about moving?
Alyssa had stated to the court that she
Yeah.
plans to relocate out of the state of Nevada.
Yeah.
One sentence.
Is requesting that this court grant her permission to relocate. She kind of put that there in passing, huh? But it needs to be fully. So, what you have to do is you have to, it's very short, very short. Motion to relocate, I think it's on our website, yeah. And then fill one out, and then file it, and you have to serve it on Ms. Barnes. But the trial, you can't do the trial on February 19th.
No, and the reason, Your Honor, is because we are now retraining the medical director of Cedar Sinai Burn Center.
Grossman, Peter, yeah,
Yeah.
I've read about all that. I get that, and you're absolutely right, common sense. She's got full custody. Mary Ann's not even having any contact. If we were to continue trial, then the order would stand, so that would be a good reason. She's kind of hard pressed now, and I don't know if she'll ask for any emergencies on, how old's your grandmother, or the mother? Your grandma? The child's great-grandmother. How old is she?
She's in her 70s.
She's in her 70s, and she's housebound now?
She needs a PCA. She needs a PCA.
Personal caregiver.
Personal care assistant. As a caregiver, I am a caregiver. That's my dog. I'm the only one in my family.
Only one in your family?
The only
Or she
PCA.
can't go to a nursing home?
Why? We don't believe that. We take care of our family. I take care of my family. We all do. We don't send our family to caregiver to homes. We don't do that in our family.
So, right now there hasn't been any custodial decision. I'm holding that decision in abeyance, and I didn't say I've eliminated Mary Ann or potentially future Stacy's request for custody. But legally, I mean, her being the only biological parent remaining, we can't stop her from traveling or moving if it ends up being a visitation case. But because custody is such a big thing,
And what's
okay,
really disturbing.
and you want a continuance. My next question to you then is, how long of a continuance are you asking? Because I'll grant your motion, but she can't wait forever.
Right. Well, so in the reply that we got the day before.
And
there's a-
Preston is school age now, right?
He's in
Yes.
school.
So I'm concerned about that as well.
So in the allegation is that the child has dermatitis. That's what Rhonda.
No,
Forsberg-
bottom line, how long do you need?
I would say 6 months. Because it's, according to her expert, it's either trauma or it's a rash.
Okay, a typical discovery preparation for trial is 90 days on a standard case.
Right.
This case has been open since when?
October 11th of 2017.
Mary Ann opened the case over a year, going on a year and a half. And when I set the trial, what day did I set the trial? This was set way out, might have been in the summertime maybe. Can you tell me when I set trial?
So trials
Hang
been pushed
on.
out several times already. All because of
Actually, yeah.
The
Trial
rash.
was set, October 2017, I saw the case in December. I set the trial for August, 8 months out. And then it got continued again, I believe,
And moms are pressed.
July 25th is vacated and reset for February, so we added, and you're saying it was mom's request, who,
Yes.
Attorney Grigsby withdrew.
That's why it was continued. She
Griggs, who
needed
was,
another attorney.
Grigsby was your lawyer?
No, that was her.
Was
I've
her
only
lawyer?
had one, and that was Rhonda.
Yeah. For some reason it got, last summer, it got continued
For
for
mom.
another 8 months.
Mom had requested it.
Okay. You're gonna probably have to work quickly, and then all these discovery motions, if she can navigate, but I'm sending it, anything discovery has to go with Discovery Commissioner.
Right.
And my concern also though is their custody ruling has to be made. One, I find that this would be the third continuance, and we like to resolve things usually within a year's time. So I'll give you another standard 90 days of discovery, and then it's gotta go to trial.
Okay.
Number two, I should probably have it no later than close the school or early summer, because Preston, depending on where he's going to live custody-wise, he's gonna be attending a school. And
Yes.
we start school early here in Nevada. I don't know in Oklahoma when they start school. Mom will be filing the motion and that will be set, but you would file an opposition, but I would hear all of those issues. I don't wanna keep creating court dates, but maybe I can hear that when I hear the motion to intervene, because Alyssa either needs to talk to an attorney, through Ask a Lawyer downstairs, or file an opposition to the motion to intervene. You obviously want to put it on an emergency basis because Stacy on her own wants contact with Preston. I anticipated this, but Stacy's not coming in the case just so Mary Ann can see Preston. Correct? She's asking to see Preston as between her and Preston, not
Yes.
because it would defeat my whole purpose of my order. Why Mary Ann? Preston's taking a break from Mary Ann, mentally
Right.
wise, emotionally wise, and everything, and in anticipation of a quick trial coming up in February. And then Mary Ann can file her paperwork to reinstate her contact or visitation. Okay. So,
This
an
is,
issue on top of an issue. We can hear the motion to relocate and the motion to intervene on, a date. I could have to find you guys a date to argue that. The motion to relocate is to make sure that you file an opposition. Of course, that would have to be done by way of trial, and she needs to establish the factors and reasons for the relocation.
Right.
Okay, I can't stop her where she wants to go or reside, but the child can't leave Nevada until I get a full custody decision, or, I don't know, talk to an attorney. She may want to temporarily relocate if some contact is either negotiated out for the paternal side of the family as a condition of her moving, and then we do the trial, and then she can fly back and do the trial. So that's stuff you guys can talk about.
Okay.
So when are we gonna hear the motion intervene? Has she been served yet with the motion
She
intervene?
hasn't, if my
You could serve her
recollections-
here in the courtroom today.
I
We
have
could
read
add,
it.
you have it?
I believe we have a hearing
Okay.
on February 19th.
Are they the only 9 o'clocks? Cause, there's two motions. One is usually gonna be set for trial relocation, but this, I don't know how vigorously she's going to oppose Stacy coming into the case. February
Oh, very
19th.
highly.
And you've asked for an order shortening time because Stacy wants contact, shorter than,
you can hear it right
With her
now. if you
hearing.
want.
do you
I
have
have no
any
problem.
opposition?
Oh, I absolutely have.
You haven't,
Well, for one,
you're,
Sean died in her house, so how am I supposed to know that they weren't doing drugs together?
okay.
And
I think you're gonna have to put that down in writing.
Okay.
In writing, so just to get the flavor of things, Mom here is vigorously opposing. But they, because Mary Ann's contact was suspended, this is going on the premise that you want emergency contact with Preston. How about I do this? I don't like to do overkill, but you know, did I not have Marianne observe with Preston here? So Stacy will have to go through the same thing. I do a 1 hour observation, take 30 days to do the report, get your oppositions
there.
in, and we'd argue this in 30
She
days.
was there, and that day she called the police on me.
I don't think
Called
Stacy
Stacy.
participated in
Yes,
the
she
1
did.
hour, did she?
Yes, she did.
Not the Donna's house visit.
Yes, she did.
No. I'm not talking about the Donna's house visit. The FMC observation was
Oh, I
for
didn't even
grandma and the child.
No,
Oh,
she
no,
wasn't.
So I'm
I'm
gonna
sorry.
order the 1 hour
I thought you said
observation.
that. Okay.
Okay, this is gonna be the same thing that Mary Ann went through, would be a 1 hour observation. And I guess a very quick interview with the child about his relationship with Aunt Stacy. And comfort level and all that. Now, if anything is granted, I think you're gonna have to, just to give you guys a preview, I can't obviously affect my order regarding Mary Ann, or she'd have to file a special motion or request to reinstate. But if there's any contact, if there's no contact, there's no contact. If there is any contact, then it would not be as a kind of a substitution for Mary Ann to come into contact with the child.
Right.
Okay. So this is just for Stacy and Preston. All right. Alyssa, you'll have to bring Preston down here for the 1 hour observation. I know you're objecting and all that, but you have to comply with the court order if you want to make it easy. If she does not bring the child down for FMC, then Stacy can get a pickup order for the purposes of bringing the child down, and she can hold the child until the observation is held, and then she's to release the child back to mom once the observation and interview is done. Can I get a scheduling of a interview? And then that can help me schedule for the next court date, but tell them not immediate rush, but if I schedule it now, everybody knows what date the appointment is.
Can I at least show you?
Hey, I'm calling regarding 1 hour
Can I at least show you the harassment that she's going through?
I get all that. Okay, you're gonna have to file all that or do a chronology of list of recent events since the last time we were in court.
She's got an open case right now.
But in terms of her wanting to have contact with Preston, we're just gonna have them observed downstairs. It's a safe place downstairs, so you have to bring him for the appointment. He's not going anywhere. He'll be returned back to you after like an hour. Okay, you know, you've done the process, so you gotta bring Preston down, and I have to, I guess, trust you to bring Preston down, otherwise it's going down the hard way again, and there'll be a pickup order. So mom will bring him, I'm gonna declare the appointment right now, and then Stacy will make time off from work and do the observation with Preston. Now, after they do that, you're gonna give him at least plus 2 weeks to do the opposition when she's served with the motion to intervene. You sure she has all papers you filed?
She held it
She
up.
says she got it? Okay,
Yeah.
so you've had 2 weeks, 10 business days, 2 weeks to file an opposition. We're trying to get you an observation, give them at least a week to 2 weeks to do the typing up the report. We're looking at least, and 5 days to reply. Unless you waive that, I have to look at least 2 to 3 weeks out. 3 weeks to be on the safe side to schedule you guys to argue all this. I'm not so much concerned relocation, because I'll just say I'm gonna hear that at trial. But allowing Stacy to intervene will depend on additional information like the child's comfort level.
What about the HIPAA? I would like to cancel that, because she was only supposed to get one thing. I have that right here. It was for September for when I broke my wrist. She's going all the way back to 2012.
I'll tell you what, the fastest way for me to hear that is for you to put it in paper, have maybe an attorney downstairs
I
help
want
you.
to cancel it out right now because she's overstepping her boundaries on what she's doing. She has no business going all the way back to 2012.
You have to make that argument in writing to me, and I normally don't hear discovery motions.
I'm going to go to the hospital and I'm going to revoke it. Because she can't do that. She said in open court last time we were
Okay,
here.
so now you're a professional lawyer. I can't
No,
do that.
she's the one that said that now.
All right.
She's the one that said that in open court.
All
She
right,
said that over
Alyssa,
there.
you're testing my patience again.
Okay.
Okay, we're trying to be helpful, and you constantly argue with me. So now I'm going to tell you to file either some type of a motion, get lawyer advice, and go file in discovery commissioner.
But that was from a lawyer.
And you
that
can
told
go,
us to do
you
that.
can go at it with Ms. Barnes before our discovery commissioner. Is that Erin Truman is the discovery commissioner?
Yes.
Mom can go set a date. You proceed. You've got discovery open, so you can proceed.
Then I would like to ask that they pay for attorney's fees. It's in all of the stuff that they have filed, it clearly states that NRS.
Your request is duly noted in court, and it will be
18010.
preserved on the record to be heard by the discovery commissioner. I try to be helpful, but now, too much argument, which means you'll go with discovery commissioner. You can file a motion to stop them from whatever you want them to stop doing.
No, I want them to pay for the attorney.
I'm not gonna hear it now since you constantly argue with me. I'm trying to be nice.
I know, for 5 years now.
Okay, we're gonna do an interview, so we're gonna do, relationship with Aunt Stacy. Is that with the E? Yeah. Child's current situation, comma, well-being. One, two. Relationship with Aunt Stacy, child's current station, well-being. Calmer environment, or no? Like improvement. And we need a update on his, since he's gonna be interviewed, relationship with paternal grandmother currently. He may be asked about his grandma. Okay, that's 3 questions there. You got a date? Mediation?
January 29th at 4 p.m.
Okay, put it clearly in the minutes, the mother is ordered to bring Preston for the 1 hour, 1 to 1.5 hour, FMC services on January 29th at 4 p.m. You gotta give them at least a week to do the, report, so following week, availability. Kinda booked up. When am I gonna fix you guys in? Might have to be in the afternoon. Maybe I like mornings. The week of February 4th is really heavy, council, so I'm looking at the 11th.
The week of February 11th is really bad for me.
It's bad for you?
Yeah.
How about after President's Day?
Yeah, the 19th in there, that's good.
You might have a little room. How
Can I get a
about,
HIPAA right out for her, for Mary Ann?
I'm sorry, what?
Can I get a HIPAA release for Mary Ann?
Is that a discovery request?
Yes, ma'am.
Or do you have to put that in writing and request
She
it?
didn't put hers in writing when she got home.
I did, it was in my-
Yeah, I would document it. Go ahead, send her an email. Do you know what you have a blank HIPAA release for Mary Ann to sign? Because she still represents Mary Ann. Now she's gonna represent the aunt.
I'll send her the same one.
President's Day, after President's Day,
Yes.
what do we have? The 19th is kinda heavy, but I can make you the only 10:30 in the
On the
morning.
19th, we're scheduled at 1:30 for trial in this case, so we could go right in there.
At 1:30?
Yeah.
Then I'll just convert your trial into a motions, 2 motions. I have 3 things set there. I guess a stack 2 trial. Did I have 2 stack 1s there?
Yes, Judge.
There were 2 stack 1s? Okay, I don't know what happened there. Yeah, it's easier for scheduling then, so my clerk just has to convert trial into 2 motions. Motion to intervene and motion to relocate.
February
you.
19th at 1:30?
Okay, so Mom, you gotta file your motion to relocate. You get help with an attorney downstairs to file whatever motion you need to file regarding the HIPAA releases with the Discovery Commissioner. And number 3, you send an email to Ms. Barnes requesting or sending her a blank HIPAA form for Mary Ann to sign. Okay, and
Can I have your card, please?
we will see you, you guys are scheduled for FMC, and then we will see you on the 19th at 1:30 for motion hearing. Because I have other trials set, this has got to be, I don't have all day, basically. So you have 5 minutes to submit, another 2 minutes to do your rebuttal, and then I roll on these motions. And the relocation is obviously just a matter of formality. Have you found a trial date? Priority, it has to be done in the summer, and I said minimum 3 months, so we're middle of January now, February, March. We have to look sometime after tax day, April. So we're looking at later end of the school year, early summer, so decision can be made prior to Preston starting school, either here or out of state.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the date next month.
February 19th at 1:30.
Which is the trial date, but now the trial is just gonna be continued out, and we're just gonna hear the 2 motions on a 30-minute slot. So your motion to relocate, you kinda told me already the heads up. I'll already read the paper, I'll ask you 5 minutes, tell me what you're requesting. You have 5 minutes to tell me about your intervene motion. You have to file, or have an attorney help you file an opposition to the motion to intervene. Whether this is permissive joinder, mandatory joinder, make your arguments, and then I'll determine. And already I'll be prepared, because I'll have the FMC observation and interview of what's going on with Preston. And Mom's mandated to bring him on the 29th. And it's just in and out, hour and a half. Okay? Very good. 4 p.m. for Preston on the 29th. You want to drop off, earlier on time, you can drop off at 4, earlier, and just say, I don't want nothing, no contact with Grandma or Stacy. I think Stacy should be the only one coming, right?
Yes.
So I don't want no contact with Stacy. Can I leave the boy with you, and then leave and then say I'll be back like an hour, hour and a half to come get him, to avoid any contact with Stacy. So I can have you, I'll order that they take the child from you like at 10 minutes before at 3:50 p.m. for his 4 o'clock. Stacy's not to get there any earlier than 3 o'clock at the FMC lobby. And then they'll make arrangements when they want Mom back to pick up the child. So there will be no contact in the FMC or the lobby between Mom and Stacy.
I'm sorry, can you say again, Stacy's not to arrive no earlier than what time?
4 for her actual appointment.
All right.
Mom, you are to drop Preston off at 3:50 p.m. and we'll let FMC know this ahead of time, to take the child from you at 3:50 p.m. so you can get a head start and leave the building. And then you ask them, when do you want me back? At 5 o'clock or 5:15 or something like that. Or they can text you, give them your number, they'll text you, come back now, Stacy's gone, and we have your son to give back to you. Okay? Please work out those logistics. We'll give them a heads up downstairs as well. We're good?
Yes.
See you on February 19th, and I
Did we
will
want a
read all your
trial date?
paperwork. Mom, you can keep the Donna's House letter since you're representing yourself. You can keep it too. FMC observation report. If it happens on the 29th and we're not coming back till the February 19th, give it at least 7 to 10 days for them to draft their report. You can call Susanna, my secretary at the end, and say, is the report in? And then you can come in and your runner can pick it up, or you have to come pick it up from our chambers. And then you'll have it in time already read. It saves time before our February 19th 1:30 meeting, okay?
Do you want to assign a trial date at our next hearing?
I have one,
Oh,
but this might not be good, because this is a full day on August 1st.
It's not.
You wrote 9 AM?
Thursdays were split into 2.
Oh, okay, unless I take the 2 half days. August 1st might not be, it could be reserved, but I can push you up, because I was thinking sometime like April or May. You know, I'll have to have Susanna, check with your schedule.
Okay.
We're looking at after tax day, and no later than the end of June to make sure. So you guys are gonna go to trial between April 15th and June 30th. Because I gotta get that done before school starts for Preston.
okay.
And there's gonna be no more continuances. I have to get this thing
Yes.
completed and done. And your motion interview will be already ruled on by then. Okay? Just file whatever you guys need to file.